Good afternoon, everyone. We had some technical issues that I believe we have worked out, and we are now live on the internet. So I apologize for being a few minutes late getting it going. I'm Tony Eggleston, broker and president of Agri Affiliates. I'd like to welcome you to the real estate auction for Dwayne and Carol Lehmkuhler. We appreciate your attendance today. And today we'll be offering the Lehmkuhlers' property for sale at absolute auction. For many years, we've had a tradition at Agri Affiliates of recognizing veterans and reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. Will all veterans and active duty service people please stand? Thank you for your service. Now, if everybody would stand and we'll say the Pledge of Allegiance. I Thank you. We have several Agri Affiliates personnel helping with today's auction, starting with Brad Atkins, who I'm sure you're all familiar with, who is the listing agent on today's property. Also from our North Platte office, we have Chase Dodson, Jerry Weaver, Bruce Dodson, and Bonnie Downing. From our McCook office, we have Brian Reynolds. And from our Kearney office, we have Brian Danberg and Mike Wilkin. Our production crew today includes Dennis and Donovan McConnell of Decato Productions of North Platte. Our auctioneer today is Dan Muirhead. Dan is a team member of our North Platte office, but resides in Overton. You may place your bids with any of the ringmen, the auctioneer, or myself. Special note for today's auction. Let's see here. We are privileged to be joined today by Silas Kuhl and Clay Wattoon. Silas and Clay have been participating in an intern program through the Arnold Public School to gain an understanding of agricultural real estate services. So for about 6 weeks, they've been learning real estate appraisal, farm and ranch management, and real estate sales. Now, neither of them have a real estate license, so they can't answer questions about today's auction or take your bid, but they showed up today and assisted in helping us get everything set up for the auction, and we've appreciated our time the past few weeks getting to know them. Today we'll be offering internet bidding through the Agri Affiliates mobile platform. The bidding platform is available on an app on your mobile device. You download the app and you can watch and bid from your phone. Mike Wilkin will be clerking the auction and placing the internet bids. The internet bidding platform allows Agri Affiliates to live stream the auction for viewers to follow who are unable to attend in person. We may also have ringmen receiving phone bids, and today's auction will be recorded. Chase Dodson will be operating the bidder card PowerPoint, and Bonnie Downing will be operating the information PowerPoint. The left screen will present information on the property, and the right screen will record the bidder number, the bid amount, as we go through the bidding process. Today, we'll be taking bids in dollars per acre. The spreadsheet will calculate the total price based on the estimated taxed acres shown on the spreadsheet. The purchase agreement to be signed at the conclusion of the auction will be based upon the total calculated price. However, there is no guarantee of the exact acres in the property. This is strictly a mathematical calculation to establish the total price. Terms for today's auction. This is a cash sale requiring a 15% earnest deposit at signing of the purchase agreement immediately following the auction. Online buyers must wire a 15% earnest deposit within 24 hours of completion of the auction. The balance of the purchase price is to be paid in certified funds at closing, scheduled for. Now, this is a change to all the advertised information It was advertised as January 2nd. This is a change. The closing date will now be December 29th. Okay, so the closing on December 29th, 2022. There is no contingency for financing. Seller will convey title by warranty deed with title insurance evidencing marketable title. Cost of the title insurance and the insured closing by the title company will be shared 50-50 buyer and seller. Property sales subject to easements, right-of-way, zoning, and restrictions of record, free and clear of all liens. The property sells in as-is, where-is condition with no warranty expressed or implied as to the adequacy of any portion of the property. This auction is conducted as an absolute auction. Possession is full possession upon closing, subject to the existing farm lease ending December 1st, 2022. There's a school land lease associated with this property to the north. The Board of Educational Lands and Fund, school lease number 11291626, located in part of the northeast quarter of section 161725, approximately 140 acres, will be assigned to the successful buyer. Taxes, the seller will pay the 2022 taxes and the buyer will pay 23 taxes in subsequent years. Any oil, gas, and mineral rights passed to the buyer. The amount of owned oil, gas, and mineral rights are unknown. Reported acreages were obtained from the local USDA FSA office and county assessor. The farm sells without regard to acres. No warranty is expressed or implied as to the exact acres included in the property. The legal description is subject to existing fence and field boundaries. An access easement is provided off of the county blacktop road, and that will be done at closing. And an electrical easement will be provided from the power pole within the yard where the meter, Custer Public Power meter is, along the existing path to maintain, repair, or replace the power service to the property boundary. Copies of the easements, title commitment, the school land packet, and the survey that shows the outage are all available on the table if anybody would like a copy. Information in the brochure has been obtained from sources deemed reliable. We have no reason to doubt the accuracy, but the information is not guaranteed. Prospective purchasers should verify all information. Announcements the day of the sale take precedence over printed oral statements. Agri-Affiliates Inc. and all agents are acting as agents of the seller. All maps are provided by Agri-Affiliates are approximations and guidelines only. They are not intended as survey accurate. As with any agricultural land, this property may include noxious weeds. The procedure for today's auction: we will accept bids on the property in dollars per acre, record the bid number and bid amount, and take a very short recess. We will then conduct a second and final round of bidding. The second round will be the final round unless a reasonable request for a break from the bidding public happens. At that time, we'll take a short break and then conclude the auction. Are there any questions on how we'll conduct the auction today? Okay, Chase. The property is located immediately north of town. The legal description is part of the southeast quarter of section 16, township 17 north, range 25 west of the 6 p.m., Custer County, Nebraska. The taxes and acres: there is approximately 143.6 tax assessed acres. The 2021 real estate taxes due in 2022 were $7,571.28. Land uses include pivot-irrigated cropland, gravity-irrigated cropland, and dry cropland. Water rights: Nebraska irrigation well G036999, drilled in 1955 and registered in 1972. There are 140.75 certified acres in the Lower Loup NRD. There is a 2003 7-tower Reinke pivot system 75 horsepower US electric motor, and a Western Land Roller pump. There's also underground pipe from the well to a gravity irrigated field. Chase, you want to go back one slide, or Bonnie, go back one slide for me? The gravity irrigated field north of the pivot, and a gravity irrigated field to the south of the pivot. So a line goes to the school land to some gravity, as well as a line going to the south of the pivot. The FSA information, thank you. The FSA information shows 139.75 cropland acres with 112.6 acres of corn base and 183 PLC yield. Historic basin acres passed to the buyer subject to the county FSA committee approval. Good soils, 25% class 1, 41% class 2, 18% class 3, and 16% class 4, comprised mostly of Horde and Anselmo silt loams. The BELF lease, at the closing, the successful buyer will be assigned the Board of Educational Lands and Funds lease of the northeast quarter of Section 16. There will be no additional costs associated with the assignments of this school lease. The successful buyer will just be awarded this lease at the closing table. The school lease, there is irrigated ground, dry cropland, and rangeland. Now, if you will notice, the pivot on this subject property that we are selling trespasses over onto the school land to make a full circle. So part of the irrigated ground on the school land comes from the pivot that is on the property we're selling. The underground pipeline from the well goes up to the gravity you see just north of the pivot there on the map. And it also includes some dry cropland and then rangeland in there as well. The school land improvements include 520 rods of fence. Back in 2018 were valued at $2,190, and an earthen dam that was valued at $10. The rents for 2023 on this lease will be $9,423.90. Outstanding opportunity to purchase pivot-irrigated cropland with excellent terrain, easement access off Blacktop Road. Now that access that's there is existing if you've all looked at it. Dwayne had that put in. That's a real good bridge with concrete and an old scale that's comprised of it. Whoever's the successful buyer on this will get a perpetual easement across that, but they will be responsible for maintaining that access from this point forward. So, Dan, are there any questions? Dan, we have opening bid of $5,500 from bidder number 522. If you want to take it away.
Thank you, Tony, and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We will open up the bidding. We do have that opening bid of $5,500 per acre. We'll work from there, folks. $5,500, $6,000, $6,000, $5,500, $6,000, and $5,500 being down $6,000, $57.5, and $5,500, $57.100 being down $57.100 being down $57.50, and on $5,500, $57.100 being down $57.5, $57.50 per acre, $5,500, $57.5, and $5,500. $7,100 being down 50, being down 750, 57.5. Anyone else at this time? And 5,500, 7,100 being down 50, being down 5,600, 5,600. $5,500, $5,600, and $50 being down $600, and a $50 being down $5,600, being down $600, $5,600, $5,600 per acre, 55, $5,600. Anyone else at this time? 5,500's bid, $5,600. 55, $5,600, 50 being down 600, 5,600 at this time, 5,500, $5,600 being down 600, $5,600. Chase, would you record that price of 5,500? Bidder card 522. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll take just a brief 3, 4, 5 minute recess. If you need to make a phone call, discuss it with a business partner, a spouse, take this time to do that. When we come back, we will conclude the bidding. So, folks, in the window over there, there is some coffee and cookies. Help yourself to dessert. Pinnacle Bank. Compliments of Pinnacle Bank, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. Get a cookie, cup of coffee, few minutes to discuss, and we'll be right back with you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I think we will come back from our recess. We did have a bid placed during that break of $5,600 an acre, so we'll work from there. $5,600, $5,700, $5,700, now $8,000, $5,800, $5,700, $5,800 per acre, $5,800, and $5,700, and now $5,800, and $5,700, $800, $5,800, and now $5,700, $5,800, and $5,800, $5,800, $5,800, $5,700 bid. The phone is out. $5,800. Now $9,000, $5,900, now $6,000, $5,900 bid here, $6,000 phones out again, $6,000 internet, you're out too, $5,900, $6,000, and now $5,900 being down $6,000, $6,000 per acre, $5,900 bid, $6,000, $5,900, $6,000, $5,900 being down $6,000, being down $6,000, now one, $6,100, now two, $6,200, and now $6,100 being down $2,100 being phone is still out, $6,200, and now 61, now 2, 3, and now 63, 4, $6,400 out again, phone, $6,400, and now 63, now 400, being down 400, being down $6,400, $6,400, 63, now 64, and now 6,100, being down 300, being down 400, being down $6,400, 6,300's bid, $6,400, $6,400, 6,300, 64, and $6,400, being down 400, being down 63, 4, $6,400, $6,400, 3 now 400 being down 64, and now 63 now 400 being down being $400, 64, 63, $6,400, 6,400, 63.50. Help anyone I can. 63 and a half. 6,350, and now 6,300, being down 63, being down 63.50. The phone is still out, 63 and a half, and now 6,300, being down 300, being half, 63.50, 6,300, being down 63 and a half, 6,300 bid, 6,350. 63 and a half, and 6,300, being down 63 and a half, 6,350 per acre. The phone is still out, internets are all out, 63 and a half. 6,350, $6,300 half, and now 6,300 being down 6,350, 6,350 per acre, 63 and a half, 6,350. Does anyone need any more time, ladies and gentlemen? 6,300 bid, 6,350 per acre, 6,300, 6,350, 63 and a half. If anyone needs a minute or two, let us know, folks. Let's take one more break. Okay, folks, we'll take just a couple minutes. Chase, record that, 6,300, 6,300. I think it's 522, 522, bidder card 522. Couple minutes, ladies and gentlemen. If you have any questions, feel free to talk to Brad or any of the other agri-affiliates personnel. We'll take just a couple minute break, and then we'll come back and conclude the sale. So thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your patience. Anyone need any extra time? If not, we will come back and we'll take any further bids there may be on the property and close out the auction for today. So thank you all for being here. At the end of the last round of bidding, 6,300 was the high bid placed by bidder card 522. 6,350, 63 and a half, 6,350, 6,350, and 6,300, 63.25. 63 and a quarter. Any further bids on the property? 63 and a quarter. 6,300, 6,325, and 6,320. Bang to the bing down, corn to the bang to the bing down, 20, bang to the bing down, 6,300, 6,325, 6,320, bang to the bing down, 63 now, 20, bang to the bing down, quarter, 20, bang to the bing down, 63 and a quarter, 6,325. Any action, Brad? 63 and a quarter. I got 6,300 back here. 63 and a quarter. 63.25. Anyone else still can't? 63 and a quarter. 63.25. 6,320. Bang to the bing down, quarter, 20. Bang to the bing, quarter. 63.25. Interested here? 63 and a quarter. 63.20. Bang to the bing down, quarter, 20. Bang to the bing down, 63 and a quarter. 63.25. Appreciate all the bids this far, ladies and gentlemen. If there's no further bids, we'll close out the bidding, sell the property, and let you out to enjoy the rest of the day. 6,300 bid. 63 and a quarter. 63.25. 63.20. Bang to the bing down, quarter, 20. Bang to the bing. Internet. 63 and a quarter. 63.25. 6,300. 63 and a quarter. 63.25. Yes or no? 63 and a quarter. Thank you. And a 6,320. Bang to the bing, quarter. 63.25. 6,300's bid per acre, ladies and gentlemen. 63 and a quarter. 63.25. 6,300. 63.20. Bang to the bing, quarter. 60. Last and final call. 6,300 bid. 6,320. Bang to the bing down, quarter, 20. Bang to the bing down, 63 and a quarter. 6,325 and die. Sold the property for 6,300 per acre, and it goes to buyer number 522. 522. Tony, anything you want to mention? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your attendance today. Lehmkuhlers, thank you very much. Our privilege to conduct the auction for you. Anything else, Tony? Folks, if you're interested in any real estate services, contact any of us with the Agra affiliates. Thank you very much. Happy harvest, and enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you.